These builds are brought to you by Stay Free Maxi Pad, because we're going to make everything bleed like it's that time of the month for you.
Whack!
Now detecting contaminated gear.
Whack!
William, knife man.
Whack! Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? Hey, don't run from the Lord!
Got a jammer here.
Whack!
You bet your sweet bippy I did.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Whack! Whack!
Rogue explosive seeker mine detected. Hostile explosive seeker mine detected.
Whack!
Agent down.
More moments later.
Whack!
An agent needs assistance.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. Ha
Nearby rogue agent killed. System disrupted.
Whack!
Rogue hive detected. Hostile hive detected. System reactivated. Rogue defender drone
Whack.
detected. Hostile defender drone detected.
So this is going to be build number 1. This is the most important one. This is your ongoing directive. Now you want the firewall. The reason why is because your player is going to be the closest to everybody else, and when you do that, you're going to get your ridgeways to max out at the 48%. Now the grudge is pretty much a must on this build. The reason why is because, one, your teammates are going to be getting out that extra crit chance and the crit damage from this player alone. Now the Carbine 7 with Sadis is the strongest version of all the ARs. Let me demonstrate right here. So we have what everybody else uses as a FAMAS. You can see we have the RPM and we have the reload speed, and that's about all that it beats. But if we come all the way down and we look at the damage numbers and the magazine size, they're both the same. We get accuracy and stability and the damage drop off. Now the Carbine 7 allows every player to reach out with these bleed bullets and destroy them. So this one also, if they fix this later on, we could even put the laser pointer on here and you can just get instant spotter for everybody this way. So again, the Carbine 7 is the must go to. Now Orbit, that's fine. You can even use the busy little bee on here. That's fine. On your ongoing directive, all crit damage. Put as much armor as you want or feel like you need. The Grupo Sombra is the next best thing. Put the Wicked on here. Crit chance, crit damage everywhere, crit damage mod. All like this. The Ridgeway's Pride, of course, crit damage, crit chance. Now here you want a Jammer Pulse, because anything you status effect plus shutting off their skills will help this player. You can put a decoy or a bleed hive. Any kind of bleed is good, but the bleed hive is pretty much best in this spot for this player. Now this is what we're looking at, crit chance and crit damage on this. Now you can trade off some if you want, that's fine. So let's show you some solo damage numbers, and then we're going to show you team based damage numbers as well. So here we go. All right, we got our bleed bullets. What was that, 316? I'll pop the damage numbers up instead of calling it out. I'll just type them in from here on out. Kind of make it easier for y'all to see. Yeah, 315. Headshots, 416. And just one more time, yeah, 416. So yeah, then we'll show the team base here in a second. But again, that's this build. And you get your bleed bullets out this way with the Ridgeway's chest piece. Now, with all the other builds and everything else that we have, you see we still have that. We have switches. He's basically using the crossbow and the future healer. Waffle has got the sniper for the extra headshot damage. And Wrecked here has the grenadier for the extra damage targets out of cover. So with all that total, we have 397. You see we just got that back. We get the Vindictive, 505. And then when we jump up for the headshots, 631. Also, I forgot, I had to put this to damage targets out of cover. So we reset everything back up. Crit chance, crit damage properly. So as you can see here, save this. Make sure that we got it properly set. And then we'll show you some more damage numbers on solo. Again, it just means we're going to get a little bit more. Not a whole lot, but we're going to get a little bit more because you technically don't need the damage to armor on any one of these. You just need damage to targets out of cover because it's going to help out. And then we're also going to show you the busy little bee with this build because you can literally go in there, bleed targets with the pistol, and then also stack up that extra damage and swap, and then yeah, just beam players or NPCs down. So let's show that. Yeah, y'all just see those numbers. Look at that. 900. 934. Jesus. And then we get more later from teammates. Now here's the meta that no one wanted to believe. I was actually trying to give y'all ahead of time, but y'all didn't believe me. So here we go. Grenadier. Get the extra damage targets out of cover for your teammates. Now, the other part to this is also you can avoid more burns. So this player is going to be a little bit more status preventive. So booster hive on this player. Carbine 7, again, we already know why it's better. It gives you more damage farther out. The custom M870 MCS for a backup, and here you can put Busy Little Bee or the Orbit, player's choice. Or if you don't want to do this and you want to use a Nemesis because you're getting these other stuff, that's fine. But I'll also show you why the Busy Little Bee is pretty much beast mode on this build. But again, we already know that the Busy Little Bee is pretty dangerous. Coyote's Mask is to help give that extra crit hit damage for your teammates or crit hit chance that they might need at times if your ongoing directive dies. Wicked, of course, on your backpack, and you can literally run this with 5 blues, as you can see here. And yeah, the 5 blues, you still feel like you're maybe a 1 or 2 blue glass cannon. Spotter Fenris, you don't have to have the Fenris. You could do the Walker, you could do the Grupo like down here in the holster, trade the pieces out as you need to. Same thing, Petrov gloves, you don't need the crit chance. Overlord knee pads or the Fox's prayers, because again, you're going to be almost near max when the other player gives you the Vindictive from their Banshee. And yeah, you'll be at max crit chance, so no need to worry about the crit chance. Go for the multiplicatives. Again, if you want to drop some of these crit chances off and put like crit damage here or stability so it becomes a laser beam, that's player's choice. If you drop it down, again, you just want to break the 40 mark, the 42 mark, and then you get the other stuff so you can get more damage out. Okay, just as simple as that. You want to break the 42 mark. That's it. Again, Grupo, Foxes. On here, you can also use a secondary Jammer Pulse or Riot Foam, but you want the Booster Hive right here because he can avoid some of the status with the burn. So this will help this player out and other players nearby. So we'll do some solo damage numbers and then we'll show you team damage, but I'm also going to show you the Busy Little Bee aspect. So this player can literally go around, tag certain ads, just tag them, doesn't have to kill them, doesn't have to do anything. He can just tag as many as he wants. If you can get like 10 inside of a landmark, cool, just tag them. and then as soon as you swap away from your pistol, whatever weapon you have in your hand, it's going to do that extra damage. But you can't swap like there. You see, I swapped 2 times and it instantly went away, so you don't get that damage. But for right now, you saw is 515. So again, you want to make sure whatever weapon you swap to, that's the one you use before you swap away. That's vital. So let's hit these again. And I'll do a busy little bee deal later on, but I'm just trying to show you all this stuff for PvP builds. So now that we got them all tagged, we swap to our Carbine 7. We get our spotter in that. Saw 1 mil, 1.03 mil. See, look at that, 1.2 on the headshot. But then these are the real numbers, 448. So again, yeah, that's, you can literally hit for 1 mil per shot just solo. And yeah, you saw the 448. So let's pulse. We got the Wicked. So let's show just regular numbers. 515. 537. So 537. That's what we're hitting for. 537. And that's with the bleed and all that kind of effect. So 537 is what we max out at. And then chest piece. I guess we can get some chest shots. Or yeah, let's get that, and then we'll shoot it one more time. Pulse. We got the bleed bullets. Yes. So 537. And that's with the Carbine 7. And again, we have 44, and we can get more crit chance and crit damage there. So I'll show you some team play. So this is that build with all the other people's aspects that they got. So we get the bleed bullets. We've got everything. Yeah, y'all see 9.3 right there. And the shot on the head almost hit 1 mil. And that was with health. You see we got it bled. 830. 830, ladies and gentlemen. So he's going to shoot it again. Chest shots. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty strong right there. Now, I've had this build before. This is the efficient healer build. So if you're not going to run like a healer, you can run this one. On this build particularly, you don't have to break the 42 mark because you're using a shotgun. If you happen to, that's going to be for your Carbine 7. Again, player's choice, but you have to have the crossbow on this player because he's the healer. Now, the Scorpio is going to give those players extra damage for their status builds, as well as for PvP. Because you're using the shotgun, you're also going to be able to give your teammates that extra 20% after you've landed, I think it's 8 shots. So this can really make some players that you think are a little too tanky, this can actually bring those players down rather than running a healer, because you get that extra weapon damage out there, someone actually doing damage. Again, Carbine 7, all the crit chances on here as much as possible. And with that being said, we break the 42 mark with 43%. So yeah, you could still do that, and every mod is a crit damage mod, as you can see. Bellstone chest piece is better than any other one you're going to come across. So go ahead and put this on, because that's going to keep you alive as well. The Catharsis mask is also to drop an extra heal since you're the healer, and it'll remove some of the status. But use the setup backpack. Now you can use the newer backpack to help give your teammates extra reload speed, but you can do this right here and give them the damage, the extra 15 on a target. So you're better off, honestly, just using the setup. Now put the Petrov gloves on here, as you saw, because you don't need the crit chance. Go ahead and get the Foxes on there, and then put the Badger Tough ammo dump. It's better off putting this in this spot, since you got all the other named items everywhere else. Just go ahead and get this. It gives you 1 extra magazine. So, I mean, not that you're going to need it, but that 1 extra mag can really help out, especially with shotgun builds. So let's demonstrate some of the healing effects and some of the stuff we'll give to our teammates. So right here, as you can see, we met up. And boom, we didn't waste a kit. Now, the other times you use efficient chest pieces, you might lose a kit. Versus this one, you're pretty much guaranteed never to waste a kit.
Immediate medical
So now we also
needed.
got the catharsis piece. So if we drop that cloud, we can heal nearby teammates and help them out. So we've got multiple ways to heal our teammates by doing it this way. Now you see we almost put ourselves all the way up to max, so we could still even get off a med pack and still heal up. So let's also increase this completely to show the full damage numbers out of this build, and we'll get the catharsis damage and the setup backpack damage. And I think that should be close enough. No, one more. Okay, yeah, that should be enough. So that's probably about 30 right there. So that's where we're going to get our damage from, is our catharsis and the backpack. Now this one here, you can put a decoy on and an extra booster since you're the healer to kind of keep those pesky little status bots away. And pretty much a 3-shot. This is solo 3-shot, as y'all can see, or solo 4-shot. So with all those extra damages, you can almost 2-tap a player. Like literally with all those extra damages, nearly 2-tap a player. And you see, I went and got ammo, so we'll take a look at this with this with the Badger Tough holster. I'll show you that you can get those extra ammo, and you see we got 1,053 for the carbine. We had like 180 something there. So yeah, we get all those extra pieces for it. Now the carbine 7, it's just a good backup. You can actually put a sniper rifle on this, like put a white death, and you're just as good. Again, booster hive to help your teammates out because you're the healer. So let's show you some damage numbers with this build in team play. So again, we just traded off everything for these guys. We have this build on, so we're trading off all those damages. So watch this. You give them the damage. We're not worried about our damage, we're worried about helping our teammates. So this right here is a 1.5 armor guy. And you see he's just gone, just split. So let's bring this as high as we can. We'll go named. All right, shoot. Okay, so you saw how fast it took, about 2 seconds to take that player. That would be a full unbreakable adrenaline rush player, just gone, 2 seconds. And the more you shoot, the faster they just go. So watch this. I'm going to stack it with full damage, the extra 20%, and I'm going to have them shoot. Just gone, that quick. Yeah, that's pretty fast. So with this build right here, it's always a healer. I have multiple videos on this in the past. It hasn't really changed, but because we're getting this extra damage, you need to make sure you have the capacitor, because even the healer now can actually kill. Seriously, the healer can actually kill with a capacitor. So with this, you can run it like this. I'm not going to say you can't, but you can run it with this, but you want the RNK, not the Alps, because of the cycle effect. It actually recycles from even far away to heal the healer, to keep the safeguard going. If you don't run the BTSU gloves, definitely run it like this. You'll give your teammates an extra 5% weapon damage, but they also will not lose 15 at times because you healed them up. So this is honestly a better way to go with empathetic resolve. So get your Alps right there, get the future, all repair skills everywhere, and again, you lose 15 at times to gain 15 by healing, so they will always have around 30 or 15% all the time, no matter what happens. So it's just, as you can see by the numbers, if you want to stop and take a look, I won't post these up because they're right here, but yeah, there's the numbers for the heals. These are maxed out heals, and you see we got maxed out heal on each one of these. So this is the highest healing you're going to see in game when the cycle effect from the RNK, which is, I don't know if it's a glitch or a bug or if it's supposed to do that, but I hope the devs don't fix that. Please don't fix that. It's great, but you also want a weapon with reformation. So get you a military AKM because it just hits really hard, and those extra bleed bullets you're going to get, yeah, that is just going to make it so much easier for you to get a kill at the same time. So definitely get the military AK-47M, or yeah, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, just set it up this way. It's really just the strongest healer you're ever going to see in game. So right here, if I damage myself, I lose that 15, but then when I heal myself, I get 15, and I get the 15 back at the same time. Now, I've dubbed this build the Commander build. The reason why is because with this, you're giving out extra headshot damage. You're basically telling all the players where the enemies are going to be coming from. You're giving out that extra spotter bonus. But you don't have to run this. The commander can choose what he wants to run. He can run minigunner, or he can run a second grenadier to try to get that extra damage targets out of cover. For the other players that didn't have it, you can put on the sniper to get the headshot damage, or just this here for the extra ammo. Honestly, the sniper is the better choice to give the extra damage out. Plus, it gives him the secondary effect of another type of pulse. So the Gilligard mask is vital for this guy. He's basically going to be calling out where people are coming from. He's going to be pulsing, helping out the team, showing them where to go. So that's why this is the commander build. He tells them where the people are coming from. Now, you want the crit damage and you want the crit damage. Now, you don't have to roll the weapon damage off like I did on this mask, but you can if you want to. The other part to this is, yes, we're still using the walker for the extra wicked damage because we're going to get those bleed bullets. Now, as you can see, we have a secondary walker. The reason for this is because this one does need the crit chance. If we throw the contractors on here, in comparison, we lose that 6% crit chance, but we also lose by using the walker only 3% crit or damage to armor. But we have to break that 42 mark. So that's why the second piece of walker is vital on this build. Okay, as y'all can see, we broke the 42 mark with that. Without those gloves, we won't do that. Now, this one here is also a tardigrade. He's helping everybody out, make sure that they stay alive. Another reason why I call it the commander build. So the tardigrade is going to give your teammates also the unbreakable proc. So this player needs to be as much armor as possible. That's why I'm saying on that Gilligard mask, you can actually turn it into or leave it as a blue if you want to. If not, and you happen to get that, you can trade it off and just go 5 blues, 1 red. Here's a Grupo holster. Again, Fox's knee pads for the multiplicative. Now here's where it's important. 2 pulses. Now we use 1 pulse, so if we get jammered, we have a secondary pulse to actually call it out. So let me demonstrate. So as you can see here, we have our targets. Now this is the important part. We pulsed, right? Okay, so say someone jammers this pulse off. Well, we can send this drone out there. Now this one has a range of 71 meters, and I've got it to level 10. So basically, it can reach out there and keep everything pulsed, even if I'm jammered and the other pulse is shut off. That's the way we can keep that spotter for that one player going. Now, I'm going to demonstrate right here. So if I jammer, see it doesn't reach it all the way out there? See that white line? It stopped right about there. But the drone is still up in the air. So I can keep players pulse to keep that one player having his damage. That's why you have the 2 pulses on, as well as you have the sniper to give the extra headshot damage. So the sniper benefits the team in 2 different ways. And you can see, we're going to jammer again. We brought it even closer. It doesn't reach out. The jammer reaches out probably, I'd say about, I don't know, I'd say what, 15, maybe 17 meters. And that thing's out there just past the 20 mark. So yeah, if you have this one on, it can reach out for 71 meters, but the jammer pulse wouldn't be able to reach to it. So if it reaches the drone and it doesn't reach your pulse on your player, guess what? You still keep them pulsed either way, just like that. So say the drone is gone, you can still pulse this way because they use the jammer on the drone. So again, it's about keeping that pulse going, telling where everybody's at. Now let's get the wicked proc, because we can also just throw those grenades because they do a status effect. So there you go. blind them, boom, we got Wicked. So again, there's the damage numbers with the blind, because that's an extra piece. And yeah, I mean, no matter what you do, you're still set. So let's show some team numbers. So you see Rex got the bleed and everything else. So he's going to get our bleed bullets back. There we go. We got a full set. All right, now the commander is going to be the farther one back. So Waffle's going to take the front spot right here in front of me. Switch has got the healer on. Rex still got the ongoing. And I've got the extra headshot damage. So here we go. We got the bleed. 620. So that's what we're seeing right there. 620. You see, we're just blasting this target. I mean, that's literally a 1.5 no unbreakable build right there, ladies and gentlemen. And we're still hitting the 620 mark. Oh, look at that. 805. 928. That's because I got a little bit closer. $786. And that's a commander. Now this one is not one that's going to synergize with the group, but it is a fun build to use. It is a bonk build, and I just want to go over this one real quick because this one here is pretty nasty. Now we have the Grenadier for the extra protection from the burn, but you don't have to do that. You can do the firewall, so if you take damage you can med kit up and then survive basically anything. It's really player's choice on the two that you're going to use this with, Grenadier or Firewall, but your main thing that you're looking for is one piece, y'all, for these Lady of Death. The reason why is because just that extra hazard protection. Now this allows you to get up close and personal because of that in melee players. So you want to find one of these y'all gear that look like this. Armor, hazard protection, armor regen. If you can find that, you can put in whatever mods you want. I suggest one burn, one ensnare resistance, and one bleed resistance. Now, we have Adrenaline Rush to keep ourselves alive. And because we can't use the two-piece Gilligard or Golan anymore, we'll use the one-piece Gilligard. And you can go with either Adrenaline Rush Intimidate, or you can go with Spotter, or you can go Unbreakable. If you do the Spotter, you can go and use one of these... where's that one chest piece? I'm trying to think. Because if you do use Spotter, your teammates will be spotting for you like the commander build. And that's going to give you that 20%. So you can use the perfect Spotter, but because they're bugged right now, and they kind of look like this crap what the devs have done to us, I wouldn't suggest running it just yet until they patch this. But if they do, you can put this one on to give yourself that extra damage, like this right here. See, the perfect spotter. So you can get 20% weapon damage just by one of your teammates spotting stuff for you. And then you get the total armor just the same as the Gilligard, but you get the perfect spotter. So it's player's choice. Unbreakable, Adrenaline Rush, or Spotter on this. Then the Claws Out for the extra melee damage. And... yeah, you want the one with hazard protection. Roll it to core blue. Murakami knee pads for the extra armor regen, just like the Bellstone. And hazard protection there as well. And then the new Bloody Knuckles is beautiful. When you put this on, you can basically get weapon damage. So this is going to allow you with those other players, if they're bleeding the targets and giving you those bleed bullets, you slap a player, you get 25% damage. You get the melee damage at the same time. It just turns it pretty strong, and it doesn't really worry about your two backup weapons. But put on the booster hive so you can get the extra melee. As you can see, hazard protection and melee damage. This is going to increase your melee damage even more. I believe it increases it about 140k melee, so you can reach like 600 if you have Adrenaline Rush maxed out. So I think it's like 650 K in melee damage. So basically it would take you like 3 taps on an easy weak player and boom, they're dead. So yeah, that's pretty much the bonk build right there. And again, we want the extra hazard protections in those mod slots so we can reach that 80 mark. A shield, definitely a shield of some sort. So if you use a firewall, use a striker and just walk up and smack people, because that striker shield will also give you more damage too, because they're right in front of you. So yeah, just keep smacking people. Bonk build.